What's up, everybody? Rockin' B here. Super Bowl Sunday. Doesn't matter if it's Super Bowl Sunday or any Sunday. Any day is a perfect day for some barbecue perfection. So here we have the Jambo fired up. If you don't own a Jambo, if you don't know about a Jambo, look at jambo.com. And this is all my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to listen to my opinion. If you're an intelligent person, you do your own research anyway. You listen to all the facts, you look at the information presented in front of you, and you ask questions, and then based upon your own what you need, you make your decision. So if you want one of the, I think it's the winningest barbecue pit made, jambo.com. It's used by legends in barbecue such as Jamie Gear himself. First and foremost, the guy that builds it is a barbecue enthusiast that wins. If you look at the people that win on them, Jamie Gear, you got Johnny Trigg, you have Mr. Rod Gray and Sherry Gray. You can't forget Johnny and Trish Trigg, because it is a team effort, and Tuffy and George Stone. So check those guys out. I have done barbecue for a very long time. I have screwed up a lot of barbecue, ladies and gentlemen. So when I started doing barbecue, I thought it was all about putting the smoke to it. We would soak wood chips and just, man, we couldn't figure out why our barbecue was so crappy and so bitter. Years, and I mean, Weber Smoky Mountains, I've had a bunch of them. And, you know, nothing cooks like a Jambo. It is thick steel. There is a rip-roaring fire right inside this firebox right here. And you know what? I can put my hand on here. I warm things up on here. But I'm here to tell you, and this is my startup fire. And again, everything is my opinion. If I could recommend anything, go take a class. I took Johnny Trigg's class, and it was amazing. What an amazing, nice man. I have his mobile phone number right now. I could call him right now probably and ask a question. I'm not going to bother him, of course, but I know he does classes. I would love to do the pellet MB class. We need to get Rod Gray. Come on out to California, Rod Gray. Come on, please. You can do it right in my restaurant. I will sell the tickets, guaranteed to sell out. I want to learn Rod Gray's as well. I don't know if Tuffy Stone does a class yet, but anyway, before this fire gets out of control, I start, and you'll notice, I think everybody in a Jambo picture always puts their fire in this corner right here. Why? Because that's where Johnny Trigg put it. So I put it there. Maybe Rod Gray puts his there. Usually it's just one log. This morning it's a little bit cool in California. I get a fire going, but with the Jambo I can easily choke it down. And I have the big door, as you can see, which is a little bit easier for me to get logs in. And then I built this gasket system right here, so you can see how hot that fire is. All right, when you're feeding whatever it is you're using, your barbecue, or this doesn't really apply to the pellet grills because you can only buy pellets. If you're using a Weber Smoky Mountain or a Weber or whatever it is, whatever you're burning in there for fire is whatever you're going to taste, whatever flavor. So if you don't know, the Blue Label Kingsford charcoal has a coal, something like coal additive to it. And to me it seems like it's worse lately. Where we live here in California, it's a little bit hard to find your lump stuff year-round or whatever. So if you're going to use Kingsford product, use like their hickory or their mesquite or something like that. That's why the bags are smaller, because, you know, there's no filler in it. It's actual wood. And then of course with the Jambo, we're using good old logs. In this case I'm using a nut. Usually I use a fruit and a nut, but I was out of my the fruit that I normally use, and I go to Lazari Firewood in Brisbane, California, which is just outside San Francisco. Really cool place, and a great place to get some wood. So whatever you're smelling when you got your fire going, if it smells like crap, if it smells like a diesel pickup that's burning too much fuel or something like that, that's what you're going to taste. So put whatever good flavor you want to be, whether it's fruit or whether it's a nut. That's what you want to use for fuel to make your ribs taste amazing. And it's going. This is my lubricant of choice. A lot of people use Parquet. Parquet has to be one of the grossest things ever made. What is Parquet anyway? But gosh dang, it makes barbecue taste good. It's really hard for us to find. We live in a fairly small town. There is one store that I know of that carries Parquet, and when I've tried to get it before, they've actually been out. So it's a little bit hard. So then what the heck do you do? We are fortunate enough where we own a restaurant, and we cook a lot of a certain pork product, and what I use for my lubricant is all natural, 100% all natural. If you don't know about pork fat, it has 0 trans fats, and it's one of the best things you could ever cook in because it's all natural. So again, do your own research. In my opinion, Parquet works amazing. It's Parquet. You just got to find it. So this morning we're doing some boneless pork butts. Costco doesn't sell pork butts with bone ends because of the way that they cut the rib. They take the bone, and we're just doing it for us. For a contest, for what we cook at our restaurant, we use bone in. Boneless today, doing just 3 racks of St. Louis ribs. We tear the membrane off the back side. Super simple to do. It's really hard to go wrong, folks, with pork. The only way that you could ruin it usually is if you put too much smoke to it. I use Simply Marvelous products, Big Papa Smokers products, OBQ products. The next time that I do a contest, I will use Johnny Trigg's recipe. If you go do those guys' class, you learn their recipes, and those guys win. I will not, as promised to him, I'm not going to show you Johnny Trigg's recipe. For home, I just grab some rubs that I like, and I start spreading them on there. It's really hard to go wrong, especially with pulled pork. All this on the outside is going to mix with the stuff that's on the inside, which needs flavor, okay? So right now you can see we're at 325. I do something else. I run water inside mine. So it takes a little bit longer to warm the water up, but what it does is it steams, which I know when I open it, you can definitely feel the steam. And again, guys, this is all my opinion. Some people don't do this. You can roll it dry too. But if it does anything, it makes cleanup a breeze. I know that, again, I'm going to say Rod Gray and Pellet Envy. I think he's sponsored by Grease Lightning, if I'm not mistaken. For me, it's just a money thing. I would try Grease Lightning, but we're just a small restaurant owner. I don't have extra money for Grease Lightning, so the only way that I clean my Jambo is a hose. And the water in the bottom keeps all the drippings and everything right there in the bottom. Open the Jambo valve, I open this door right here, and you spray it out, and it's clean. And then I coat the inside of my Jambo with some non-stick spray. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna glove up, and let's throw some pork on and get cooking, huh? Right, what's up, Jambo Nation? Rockin' B here. I've got my, you can see I've got what I call my tweaker gear. We live in Modesto, California. I could walk around with these on, and it's, with all the tweakers in Modesto, this is completely normal, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I got the Panthers winning 41-21. I'm not a big football guy, but that's my guess. Cam Newton's strong. We're doing pork ribs and boneless pork butt today. I just opened the door a minute ago, but we start the Jambo off at, like, if it's 325, if it's up towards 350, that's okay. It's going to put like a little bit of a crust on it, and again, this is the way I do it. If you look at somebody like Myron Mixon, who is wins a lot of contests, I think that guy very proudly uses like a half a gallon of lighter fluid to start. We don't use any lighter fluid, but hey, that guy wins. What are you going to say? Everybody's different. That's my point. Take a class. PelletEnvy.com. Check out Johnny Trigg. The KCBS newsletter has a lot of classes in there. Find one that fits your style. Find somebody that fits your style, and go learn something about barbecue. So, the goggles. I can climb right in here and not be bothered whatsoever. I'm going to put my butts over towards the exhaust. Simply Marvelous, Big Pop Smokers, Pellet Envy, Eat Barbecue. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, if you use gloves, I'll peel my gloves off. Look, my hands are clean. You can see I've got my pork butts towards the front here. I've got my pork ribs there. Fat side down or up. It's good both ways. To me, the way it was taught to me, and again, I'm going to Johnny Trigg, and I've heard other guys say it before. The pork butts right now have the fat side down. I will leave those on here, fat side down, at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours in the smoke, and then I'll probably maybe go another hour fat side up. To me, the fat side gives a layer of protection from the heat is coming from the bottom and going up, right? So if you put it on the top, somebody talked about, you know, the fat melting, and I think scientists have said that we've got a security breach. I think science says that that's not really possible. Maybe it melts a little bit, but it's not like it's going to melt down, and then your meat on the bottom, to me, is going to dry out from that bottom going up. So, very imperative. Every half hour we'll be rotating between plain old apple juice, ladies and gentlemen, and pork fat. That's it. A timer is imperative. You could buy these at thermoworks, I think, .com. They make the best thermometers. The ThermoPin is very famous. 99 bucks. Takes a thermometer reading. It takes temperature in 3 seconds or less. So, you know, that's the thing with other smokers. I'm going to close this. Let's watch the Jambo go to work. Exhaust is wide open. We're at 175 right now. So, we hit our timer. We're off and running. I have a timer that's an overall, and then I have one each for the pork butt and one for the ribs. So this one tells me how long we've had everything in there. A good timer is you got to have one, and a good thermometer as well. So every half hour we'll be basting these babies and make sure that they stay perfectly moist. It's a plastic bottle sitting on top of a 1,000-degree fire, and it's barely even warm. That's the advantages of a Jambo, ladies and gentlemen. There are so many flavors now in barbecue, and so many different rubs. You can make your own rub. I have a recipe for my own rub. It's much easier for me to buy excellent products like Simply Marvelous, Eat Barbecue, OBQ, Big Papa Smokers. If you go to bigpapasmokers.com, it is like barbecue porn website. Sterling Ball and his Big Papa Smoker barbecue team have done an amazing job. The shipping, you right now, if you order over 75 bucks, shipping is always free. The packaging is always perfect. The product is always what you get. Excellent website, bigpapasmokers.com. If you're going to a KCBS contest, you know, there's definitely a certain way that flavor profile is going to have to be, and the quality of the barbecue. If the barbecue is what people say fall off the bone, it's overdone, folks. some people know that, some people don't know that. I'm not saying it's wrong for your liking, but at a Kansas City Barbecue Society contest, that's not going to win. There's a certain way that it has to be. My point is, when you're at home, it doesn't make two rips how you do it. If you want that pork rib to, the bone to slide out, your barbecue, you're the only person that has to like it. If you got people coming over to your house and they love it, that's even all the better. It's very hard to go wrong if you use quality products like that. Shake a little bit in your hand and taste it. Know how much salt or how much sugar or how much heat or how much of a certain flavor it has in it, and then you decide. You're the person running that sucker, and that's how you learn. You could ask people questions all day long, and they can tell you all day long. But until you learn a style that works for you, that's how you learn barbecue, and that's how you learn how to do barbecue. I have a stack of notebooks. I have the notebook that Mr. Johnny Trigg gave me that has his exact recipe in it, and I keep copious notes. This one for fun, I'm not keeping notes so much, just because we're just doing this for us, and so it's all good. But do the barbecue the way that you like it, and go take a class. Check out pelletenvy.com. Rod Gray, one of the winningest barbecue pitmasters in the world, does a class. You can go learn from him and his wife exactly how they do it. Husband and wife team, badass at barbecue. Johnny Trigg, I took that class. I can tell you from experience, one of the nicest men, and his wife, nicest people in the world. Reminds me of my grandfather. Holy mackerel. And that guy shows you exactly how he does it, and that guy has won a lot of contests. So find what works for you. Become a member of the KCBS, and then you get a cool newsletter every single month where it has all the contests coming up. Go do a contest. What do you got to lose? It's all for fun. You're not there's about a 99% chance that you're going to go to your first contest and not going to place, but you're going to learn, you're going to meet people, you're going to learn all about it. So we're at our first half hour of the cook, and we're just at like an hour ago through login. About every hour on the Jambo. If you're not into hands-on barbecue, not the pit for you. Look at some of the there's some amazing pellet grills, and I'm not knocking them. They are probably just a little bit more hands-free, as it were. I know about the Mac grills a little bit, M-A-K, check them out, and I think Big Papa Smokers sells them. But look, a Mac grill, you could be watching the Super Bowl today, and from your smartphone, you can control the temperature. You can see the temperature of whatever it is that you're cooking right on your smartphone. So ease of use from the pellet grills, but also on a pellet grill, you will not, it is not possible to get a smoke ring like you will get out of a wood-fired cooker, a true wood-fired cooker where there are logs of your choice going in. So I'm a Gemini first and foremost, and I got OCD to the 10th degree. I love coming out and checking it about every half hour. So you can see on my Jambo is about 5 years old, and this is just from use. It's a little bit of surface rust, no big deal. I've got to go get some high heat paint to touch it up, but it's 5 years old and it's virtually perfect. If you're gonna use stuff, this is what happens, but when you take care of it, it lasts forever. So check us up, Jambo Nation. Rockin here. We're our first half hour into our cook here on Super Bowl Sunday. It doesn't matter, it's Sunday. Every day is a good day for barbecue. So, and really you can kind of see there's not much difference. We can get right in there and take a little look-see. You don't see. You see on this pork butt right here, it looks, a little bit dry on top. And if you don't, if you were to leave these cuts of meat in here, yeah, they would dry out. So what we do, we variate. We go every half hour. First half hour we use apple juice, and then we use natural pork yumminess. So you just want to make sure you get them good and moist. Good heavy duty sprayer. There you go. There you go. Back to moist. We close the door back down. The amazing Jambo goes back to work. See you in another half hour. We are at our second half hour. And you can see, again, that it looks a little bit dry on top. It's cooking the moisture. If you were to leave it like that, you would have a dry piece of meat, ladies. That's why we rotate between apple juice, plain old apple juice, and pork fat this time. This is a favorite of ISIS and Daesh. They love this stuff. So if you're out on a picnic somewhere and, you meet one of the ISIS guys or something, Tim Kennedy, shout out shout out to our boy Tim Kennedy. Check out the heroes. Tim Kennedy, Andy Stumpf. Tim Kennedy probably packs some of this stuff, and then I think he used to dip his bullets in pork fat. But anyway, so in a contest, you're gonna do whatever you can to make them cook as perfect and even. So in a contest, man, I'll turn them and flip-flop them, and this one to that one. And really at home, I'm just going to turn and rotate. So I'm now going to just take my pork fat and it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm making sure that every inch is covered, ladies and gentlemen, for perfect moisture. Delicious. Alright, what's up, Jambo Nation? We're about 3 hours into our ribs. Again, it's all your choice how smoky you want them. If you want them more smoky, less smoky, you don't have to put them in foil whatsoever. But the majority of people that do the barbecue contests, I don't know of anybody that wins contests that doesn't put them in foil. So you take them out of the smoke. I use a double layer of two pieces of foil, and then it's whatever flavor profile you want. Again, I know the Johnny Trigg secret recipe because he taught me. I can't share that here, but today what we're doing is simply a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit more of our pork fat. I got an old favorite, my tiger sauce here, which you just put a little bit of tiger sauce. Just like so. Simply Marvelous cherry. Lime, Big Papa Smokers, BPS, a little bit of Happy Ending. We already did our brown sugar. Some honey. And a little bit of onion. Alright, when you go to wrap, you want to pay attention to these bones here on the edge. You don't want to pop a hole in your foil. You want to keep this as airtight as possible. I simply take my finger and I make a little line right where I want it to fold, both sides. And then lo and behold, it generally folds right there. Ease it up on this side. Feet in the middle. You can fold it all the way over. You want to find the edge of those ribs and make it as tight as possible without poking a hole. So fold it over and crimp it without pulling down there. So you pop a hole in it and go all the way down. Once you get down to the ribs, you're going to fold that down and kind of press it against the rib. Come all the way out to the end here. Fold, fold, fold. And then find your end of your rib and just make one big fold without pinching too much, without pinching the foil and popping a little pinhole in that sucker. So fold it down. Find the end of your rib here. Airtight. And then one last fold over without pinching it. There you got it. Little envelopes of yumminess. These are now going to go back onto the smoker for however long you decide. For me, it's probably going to be another hour and a half, and they're going to be super tender. So check back in with you in just a little. Check it out. 4 hours. There you go. Look at that. Hey, what's up, Jambo Nation? Okay, we've got our pork butts in the house now. You can see after 4 hours, they look amazing already. Just like our ribs, we take double foil and a little bit of our natural pork product. We do a little bit of some BPS Happy Ending, a little bit of some Simply Marvelous Cherry, a little brown sugar, a little honey, and again, it's whatever you want. We're going to double up the foil. And then just make like a little envelope. You want it as airtight as possible without popping a hole in it. That's the trick. Do it real gently. Start rolling your corners up. A little bit at a time. Take your time and do it right, and don't poke any holes. That's the whole key to this up here. Okay? So once you get all your corners, then you can kind of start rolling it up a little bit. Now, just like that, right there. Roll that up a little better, crimp your corners. There you go. Alright, and then we're going to want to find a Sharpie and make yourself a mark wherever you consider kind of the middle. And then that way, you take your thermometer, check the temperature. This one is by ThermalWorks. You're checking it in the same spot every time, alright? Let's go get these pork butts back on the jacket. And put these babies right back on. Well, thank you, Charlie. Back in they go. Now, and for me, the way those are wrapped in foil, I've got the fat side up because the meat side is down in the liquid, and of course the liquid would tend to run off the meat except for, you know, maybe a puddle or something. So that's my thinking. It's all personal preference. Now is when, if you have something like a Jambo, I know exactly how long, pretty much about an hour, I can come back and just throw a log on. So if you have something that you know works, you set the throttle. That'll keep it at just about what I want, 275. I can go sit down and relax. I don't even have to worry about it. Ribs are done. All right, ribs are off. We're going to drain the juice out. So then we're going to turn it back into a boat. Just like so. And these are really fall off the boat. These are way overdone if they were at a contest, but guess what? This is for home. And there you go. So now you could eat these just like this. The flavor, I'm sure, is incredible. But we will add a little bit of barbecue sauce to them. Let the barbecue sauce melt on top. And enjoy some ribs. Let's try it. Let's just see. It's hot. Hard to go wrong. Alright, Jambo Nation. Just about 6 hours for these, or a little bit smaller pork butt. The ribs, like I said, I actually went a little over on those, but they're amazing. You tear them, you can just tear them off of the bone, and it's not a KCBS one test. Oh boy, the ribs fall off the bone, darn it. But here you go. I have drained the juice out of the pulled pork, out of the foil. That will actually solidify when you put it in the refrigerator. And when we make pulled pork sandwiches at the restaurant, we actually add a little bit of that. But you can see that just falls apart. And you know, super moist. You can see the juice run out of it. I'm going to leave them. I like to let them rest for a little bit. So I'll show you this little piece here, you know, and I haven't added anything. You know, we'll go through now and we'll separate it all. We'll pull all the big pieces of fat out, because people in California kind of freak out about fat sometimes. If it needs be, you can add any kind of seasoning that you want. A little more of the tiger sauce, you add a little more of the tiger sauce. You want a little more of its own sauces down in there, we'll put a little bit of our own house-made barbecue sauce, and you make it your own. You can see the smoke ring. You can definitely see the smoke ring here from the Jambo, and there's just nothing else that does it like the Jambo. Give it a little taste here. No sauce or anything. Delicious. Anyway, once I let it cool a little bit, we'll pull it off the pull it apart, make some sandwiches. Alright, our pork has been resting for at least 15-20 minutes. It's probably still really hot in the middle, but let's see if I can do it with these gloves. And we're just going to basically, you know, break it apart. You see it pulled apart real nice. Still see how juicy it is. And it's hot. So you can get rid of most of this fat right here, but pretty perfect. So anyway, we'll now break this all up. Add a little bit more sauce. I might add a little bit of salt, maybe. A little bit of our barbecue sauce. Doesn't need anything really. You could eat it. You could tear that off and put that in a sandwich right there. Look at that. Spectacular. Okay. Get rid of all this yucky stuff. All right, fellow Jambonians, barbecue enthusiasts, Burger Nation, Barbecue Nation. There you go. 3 racks of ribs. 2 boneless pork butts we did, Boston butts. And there it is, all shredded. We pulled it apart and it was certainly delicious. All we did was add a little bit of Rod Gray's Eat Barbecue. We added a little bit of money to it. and a little bit of its own juices and a little bit of our own barbecue. Could have probably went a little bit longer on the butt, but you know what? It's still delicious. I probably could have went a bit shorter on the ribs, but guess what? They fall off the bone. They're delicious. So there's no wrong way to make barbecue that you like. Experiment, have fun, get a pit that works. Get a pit that works for you. If you like the wood burners, there's nothing better than a Jambo. So I'm gonna go enjoy some of this badass barbecue. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Facebook, Rockin' Bees Burger Company. If you're in Modesto, California, come and have one of the highest quality burgers in the nation, handmade by me and my wife every single day, hand pounded, cooked by us. We take the order. We make sure that it's perfect. So, all right, I'm gonna go check some of this stuff out. I am out.